Hi everyone, my name is Jason Phieler. I work as the Acute Nurse Unit Manager at the Lawn Community Hospital, and this afternoon I'm going to be walking from Sunnymead Beach to the Lighthouse and to the Pandelac and Fairhaven Beach on this beautiful coastline, as you can see here. I first want to start off with the acknowledgement of country, acknowledging the Wathaurong people, and pay my respects to their elders past, present and emerging. Now where I stand today is Wathaurong country. In the distance we have Anglesea, Point Road Night, the back of Point Road Night, and then in the far distance we've got Point Addis towards Bells Beach. And if you pan out over to the ocean, sometimes you can actually see, I can see it a little bit, the Heads and Sorrento on the other side, particularly on a really clear day. You can see that far from here. Now, Wathaurong country included all this area all the way towards Geelong, and it actually finishes at the Pandelac Creek in Aries Inlet. And on the other side is the Guttermanut people of the Otway Ranges, or the King Parrot people. So this is right at the edge of their territory. This coastline is dotted with mittens, where Wathaurong people used to come down on the coast and fish, collect shellfish, hunt seals, etc. So you can see a lot of these mittens amongst all the sand dunes along this coastline. Over on the other side of this point just here, we've got what's called, well, we call it Mermaid Pools, and traditionally it was actually a birthing area for Wathaurong women to come. It's a really large rock pool and is quite warm when the sun is out. So it's a traditional birthing area. Now it's a very famous surf spot. And down here we have Sunnymead Beach. It's not working today, but I quite often surf here, and it's where my children have learnt to surf as well. It's a beautiful place to be. Thank you. So you can see the cliffs over in the distance there, and also the reef below. Quite often we walk from Sunnymead Beach all the way through to Fairhaven and down to Spout along the Great Ocean Road there. But today the tide is up, so we'll have to go and walk along the coastline on the cliff top walk, which is where I'm going to take you now. Thank you. So as this sign shows here, that this area is all coastal heathland. There's a lot of moona trees, a lot of small bushes, and this attracts birds like the rufous whistlebird, which doesn't fly that well and actually runs a lot, and you can quite often see them along the track. Hopefully we'll get them today, in little flocks running around and squawking. It's also habitat to the swamp echinus, which is also endangered and has a renowned sexual appetite for the males that during mating season that they copulate so much they actually die after mating. There's also the long-nosed bandicoot and some other endangered or threatened species along this coastline, and that's why it's so important that it needs to be protected. Particularly this tree, which is a moona tree, a lot of it has been destroyed due to coastal development, so it's really important that these environments stay intact and that we do preserve them. We've just walked from Sunnymead Beach to what's known as Gully Beach. We've got the Split Point Lighthouse in the background, Eagle Rock, which is the island off the edge there, and in the far distance we've got the Otway Ranges, and you can't see it tonight, but you can actually see already some of the houses of lawn on the other side there. Split Point is called Split Point because of the climatic change that happens. So quite often we look over to the Otways, and they've got what we call the Otway Doona, so you know they're covered in cloud. It's raining, and you can see the rain coming across the Tit Bay over Fairhaven towards us. But as it hits Split Point, the rain actually diverts, doesn't come to us, and diverts out to sea all the way across to the Mornington Peninsula, or indeed Melbourne. There's the bristlebird right there that I was talking about. See how it runs? Not flying. So this is one of my favourite spots to stop and sit on this seat and admire the view of Eagle Rock, the coast. It's a nice place to come on a hot summer's night and kind of feel the cold breeze of the ocean coming up. So this is Steppy Beach just below the lighthouse, and here's is actually a marine sanctuary that goes out a couple hundred metres out into the ocean because it's been identified as a Port Jackson shark nursery with some significant habitats for other marine life. As you can see, we're close to Lighthouse now, and hopefully you can occasionally see the light blinking there, so it's an actual working lighthouse, really important for all the cargo ships that are coming through Bass Strait from the west or from the east back. So we're at the Split Point Lighthouse, which was actually built in 1891. So this is the other side of the lighthouse, and here we've got the old lighthouse cottage residence, which is still intact and privately owned. And so we'll be going down the coast now towards Lawn and Spout Creek. So this is the inlet, which is what Aries Inlet is actually named after. The Wadawurrung name for this area is called Mangawak. So I thought I'd take you here to what's called Noble's Sanctuary. It's a swamp area just off from the inlet, and one of the local artists has done this big sculpture here, and what it does, it represents William Buckley, who's a an English fella who ended up living with the Wadawurrung people for 32 years on the coast here. And the legend has it that Buckley and two other convicts escaped from the first colony in Port Phillip Bay in 1803. So the photo up there represents the three convicts that escaped, and two of them went one way and William Buckley went the other way, and he walked right around Port Phillip Bay all the way to the Bellarine Peninsula. And there he came across a gravesite for some local Aboriginal Wadawurrung warriors, and in the gravesite was a spear, and he pulled out the spear and walked with that for a period of time, and some Wadawurrung women found him and recognised the spear as their relative's spear, and thought that Buckley was somehow a reincarnation or some sort of connection to that warrior that had died. And he was infantile because he couldn't speak their language, and he didn't know how to survive or have any skills. So they took him underneath their wings and taught William Buckley how to speak Wadawurrung language, how to hunt, how to spear, became very proficient in spearing. And William Buckley actually walked all the way with Wadawurrung people to here, to the inlet, and to this swamp. And in the swamp, they believed in the legendary mythical creature, the bunyip, which is represented here by Jeff Raglis, who's the local artist who did this sculpture. So this is the bunyip, and this is where the bunyip used to live, in this swamp, with its magical, mythical powers of So we've finally made it to Spout Creek. From here, there's Santa Monica, Cathedral Rock, and then onto Lawn. So enjoy the rest of your journey. See ya.